Hey, and welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott. I get asked a lot of questions about what it's like living in an over 55 community, and I thought today I would talk about those. So, first and foremost, um, I just want to start off by saying I've got great neighbors. All of the people in the community are very friendly. So, I want to get that out of the way right up front. That being said, the main reason I moved here was because I needed to get access to a ranch, and I live in outside of Atlanta, and there aren't very many ranches available except in over 55 communities, unless they were built in the 50s, require that you completely gut them. The layout of the houses are narrow, so you really can't create um, an open floor plan in the way that most people desire today. So that I looked for 8 months, tried to find something, couldn't do it. Anyway, moving on. My biggest complaint with being in an over 55 community is really the fact that I never expected that I was going to have emails constantly telling me about people in the community that are sick, people in the community that have passed away, people in the community that have gotten Alzheimer's are now moving into assisted living. Like, I get that I'm in a community and people are older, like, that's fine. But I never thought that I was going to be effectively opening an email on a regular basis, given that, the size of the community, and finding that all of these all of my neighbors have substantial illnesses that are weighing on them, and that's probably my biggest complaint on living in an over 55 community. The other complaint is, um, again, because people are over 55, and most of my neighbors are over 70, um, and I'm in my early 60s. uh, I will say that the people basically act as if they're helpless. And while I get that, the community provides a variety of services, from trash pickup to lawn care, termite inspections that are covered, like all the kind of normal outside activities, like whether it's repair, painting a gate in the community, or painting the clubhouse, or spreading mulch, or doing any other kind of physical activity, no matter how minimal. Um, you know, People here are just wanting to pay for it and not do any kind of community involvement to either reduce the price or keep your dues lower, or things along those lines, which is completely different from other HOA subdivisions that I've lived in. Um, and then the other really big surprise that I have is how negative the people are that live in my community towards children. Like, I get that they're in an over 55 community, and one of the benefits of living here, at least in Georgia, is you don't have to pay school taxes. So, we raised our children, we pay taxes when we moved in here, and you're after a certain age, you just, your taxes for property taxes go down because there is no associated taxes for schools. But that being said, if you have grandkids that you want to have come over and hang at your house, for more than like 1 or 2 days, it becomes challenging in this community because really the people don't want to have to worry about kids in the street. They don't want to have to worry really about the noise level past, I don't know, 8:30 at night, when most of the people seem to go to bed, and then they're up super early. So if you want to meet your neighbors, if you go out for a walk at 5:36 in the morning, you can meet anybody, because everybody's up early moving around, but they also go to sleep, pretty early, and all the activities in the community pretty much are over before 8:30. They start somewhere around 6:30, and by 8:30 it's over. So that's something, again, was surprised to find and didn't really expect. Um, but yeah, the kid thing was interesting. I mean, like, I understand how, you might, you've already gone through that experience, and you might want it to be a little bit quieter and stuff, but to be so negative that you're even, in fact, contemplating adding additional restrictions into your um, covenants to basically say that, people can't be here more than a certain amount of time. you couldn't leave the house or your property to somebody that is under 55. You know, you couldn't have, you know, a grandchild who maybe was in college and was going to a local university stay with you. I mean, all kinds of reasons why you might have someone under 55 that's not a little child, but is still, you know, could live with you if you wanted. Uh, and, you know, our neighbors just don't want that. I mean, that seems to be a big issue. And right now we have a petition going around the community for changing our bylaws to make it, you know, so you can't rent your house unless you've lived here for at least a year. You can't rent to anybody under 55. You can't pass things along to people that are under 55. I mean, it's, you know, it's not what I signed up when I moved in here. You know, I'm obviously going to be voting against those particular covenant changes, but, you know, ultimately, it's disappointing. And again, really happy with with my neighbors, with the people that live here. They're, you know, pretty easygoing, pretty laid back. People stay out of each other's business. They're pretty helpful when you know, need something. Everybody watches out for everybody else, you know, especially from a safety point of view. Lots of people, you know, have multiple residences, so that, you know, they live here part of the year, live somewhere else part of the year. All of those things kind of I was expecting. But again, the thing I wasn't expecting was, you know, how little people want to contribute into the subdivision via their own labor. You know, how people are anti-children in the subdivision. You know, really, they're the two big things. So, love to hear if you live in an over 55 and you have a different experience. Please leave some information in the comments. Love to hear about it. But, you know, until the next time, take care. Appreciate you stopping by.